Welcome back to Senior Support on Your TV. Today we're talking to Cheryl Anderson. Cheryl is the Vice President of the South Shore Joint Initiative in Prince Edward County. We've learned a lot about the work of the Joint Initiative, and now we're going to talk about the Hudgen House. Welcome back, Cheryl.
Happy to be back.
Yes, well, you have a structure on the South Shore that has a very important historical significance, and I know that you're an expert on the Hudgen House. So why don't you tell us why is it so important to the whole South Shore?
The Hudgen House is a log house, and it is on the Hudgen Rose Nature Reserve, which is owned by the Nature Conservancy of Canada. South Shore Joint Initiative has tenancy of the Hudgen House, mostly because Nature Conservancy Canada doesn't do buildings, and so they asked South Shore Joint Initiative to take over responsibility for the Hudgen House. It's important because it was built in the 1880s. It has heritage designation since 2011, and it's a unique representation of log buildings in Prince Edward County.
Mm-hmm. So is it actually was it a house, or was it involved in the fishing industry or commercial fishing that's also part of the South Shore? Or what is the significance of it, Cheryl?
The house, it is a house. It was a family house. It was built by Moses Hudgen and Ann Mook, who was his wife. They raised 9 children in that house. Of course, they were farmers and also fishermen. So because the house is on the South Shore, it is was part, and the family was part of the South Shore community. And many, many people in that community were also fishermen. They were also people who worked as lighthouse keepers, specifically Point Traverse Lighthouse and the Salmon Point Lighthouse. So with having had 9 children, there was a large family of Hudgens that lived in the South Shore and now live throughout Canada, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've seen pictures of that house, and it's pretty small to have 9 children in that.
Yes, yeah, it's hard for us to understand, but I guess standards were a little bit different, and there were 2 bedrooms upstairs. There was a kitchen addition. The house as it stands now, the kitchen addition fell down, but as it stands now, that was the house. So it was probably pretty tight fit.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. So what's the status of the restoration of the house then, Cheryl? What is the plan? And then what is the status of the operationalizing of the plan?
So the plan is that the house will be operated as a field center and event space. It will be operated as a social enterprise, which means that it will not be a for-profit. Any money, and indeed when it is operated, money will have to be made from the operation or in some way to pay for things such as hydro, cutting the grass, insurance, that kind of thing. Yes, and so the restoration has started. We do expect that we will be able to have a grand opening in spring of 2024.
So in the spring of 2024, does that mean that you will actually open it and people will be able to go through the house? Yeah.
Yes, that's our intention. And as I said, it'll be operated as a field house. So a lot of, as I mentioned in the previous segment, we'll be doing a management plan for the South Shore Conservation Reserve. So studies that are being done on the South Shore, that will give the biologists a place to stay. among other things. And then people can come and find out about the history of the South Shore, about the commercial fishery, about the Hudgen family. It's not a museum. It's an event space, a place where people can come and find out more about the South Shore. And maybe if they want to have a family event, they could do it there.
Mhm. Now, I'm just wondering where it's situated, Cheryl, because could people park there, have a look at the Hudgen House, and then hike to the waterfront, to the shoreline?
Absolutely. We will have parking spaces along the road. And I think you know that it's on Ostrander Point Road. So the house is on one side of Ostrander Point Road. The Ostrander Point Crown Land Block is on the other side of Ostrander Point Road. So yes, you can definitely walk down to the lake from on the road, and there is access to the lake at the end of the road. Also, there's the whole Ostrander Point Crown Land Block there. So there are some areas there that are just lovely to spend some time in. There's a really nice little meadow just down the road a little bit where we find a lot of milkweed. So it's a great place to look for caterpillars, for monarch butterfly caterpillars, and to see monarch butterflies in the summer.
Mhm.